welcome back to another episode of the What Now Show. I am joined by a very special guest today. I am joined by Renato Moicano, macho Renato Moicano, if I may. It rhymes, and I recommend that as your nickname. Renato, it's a pleasure to have you here, brother. How are you doing?
Thanks so much. I'm doing great. And how about you?
I'm doing very good, brother. Thank you for asking. So it's a pleasure to have you here. You told me off camera that you just had training. So what were you training? How did training go?
I was doing some strength and conditioning. It was very good. I'm not doing I'm not doing some hard training, so I'm I'm trying to build up a base in strength and conditioning.
Yeah.
And I was great training today.
Okay, so I want to start, from the very base of when your career started, right? You spoke about how, you've already spoken in the media about, your jiu-jitsu, your ability, how swift you are, how quick you are. So growing up in Brazil, was jiu-jitsu the first thing that came to you? Did you grow up, breathing jiu-jitsu? Or, what attracted you to MMA? Why'd you get into all of this? What attracts you about the sport?
Yeah, first of all, I started training judo when I was 5 or 6, something like that. And after that, I was living in Brasilia, the capital of Brazil, and my mother uh, she received a promotion on his job, and she went to Rio de Janeiro, which the jiu-jitsu is very famous over there. Everybody loves jiu-jitsu in Rio de Janeiro, and some of my friends, of my roommates, not roommates, the students.
Okay.
How you call that? Like people who study with you, like
Your teammates,
not
your
teammates, people from school,
oh yeah, your classmates.
classmates. Yeah, my
Yes.
classmates. Some of them uh, were training jujitsu back in the day,
Okay.
so I kind of see them doing, and I'm trying, and I love jujitsu because in back in the day, yeah, I think was year 2000. Jiu-jitsu was an explosion over in Rio de Janeiro, and everybody was doing. So I started doing, and after a couple of years, we went back to Brasilia, my city, and I start all over again, training jiu-jitsu and training boxing. And in my former gym, there were some veterans like Paulo Thiago. He used to
Ah.
fight in UFC, and Haniaha and another guys. And I just uh, thought, like, I want to be like these guys, and I start to pursuing my career, my dreams and my goals. And I have been like I have been blessed with like with with this dream. I really
Mhm.
think my MMA career is a dream for me.
A man who seizes the opportunity. Much respect to you, Renato.
Yeah,
So,
thank you.
I want to get into, let's actually wait. I want to ask you something else. When you were growing up and you were learning, judo, jiu-jitsu, boxing, did you have to use any of this in school, dealing with bullies or anything of the sort?
Yeah, actually, like I was really I back in the day I didn't tell anybody I was training. You know, I because my master, my jiu-jitsu instructor, my coach, my master of jiu-jitsu, he always say to me, you have to be humble, you have to be respectful, and that the way they were in my gym. So I was really like humble about that. I didn't want to show everybody I was a fighter or I were involved with training, but a couple occasions, couple situations, I was forced to use some of my techniques on the street, but uh, uh, um, like I get involved in some of fights in the streets, but it's something I don't wanna brag about,
Yeah.
because every time you fight in the streets, you are doing wrong, even you just have to protect yourself and try to avoid conflict, so I'm not I don't have pride about fighting on the street. I think it's really bad for you, because this is not a sport. You can get hurt badly. You can you can you can you can die in a street fight.
Hmm.
So there is no rules. There is no referees. There is no someone to help you. So I don't like street fights. But I did a couple times, when I was young, when I was dumb. But if I had something to say to the young generation, I say, don't fight in the street. If you want to fight, go to a gym, try to find a good master, a good school, and try to do your best in a fight day in a competition.
A real role model indeed. So, moving on to another big highlight in your career that I wanted to bring up was, your second to last fight, against Damir Hadzovic. I apologize if I mispronounced it. You were fighting in Sao Paulo. You had that first round rear naked choke, a dominant performance. Everyone would think if once you had a performance like that, you'd be out, you'd be celebrating with joy and happiness. But the reaction that you had was polar opposite, right? You got up and you were screaming all around the octagon. You were angry, you were furious.
Yeah,
For a moment, I thought you were about to hit Michael Bisping when he came up to interview you. You were angry, you were screaming, you know, and then you spoke in the interview about not having your people, your
yeah.
fans around you in your hometown. You spoke about, your newborn child. Congratulations, by the way. So,
Thank you so much.
um when all of that came into account, in retrospect, now that you look back to that moment, what was going on at the time? What was going on in your head?
Yeah, I was so emotional because I was like I say in the day, my son just born, and and uh, I was really feeling like, how could I say that? I was feeling like a lot of responsible because I was coming from two losses, like two big losses, and I want to send a message and come strong. And I was expecting really a war, but uh, looking to it, like looking how I did, I don't think I did like the right way, because like you say, I was mad. I was really like excited. I don't know what happened. Maybe I was surprised to get the rear naked choke and so soon. I think it was that.
Yeah.
But what you think about that moment? What do you feel watching?
I was confused. At one moment, I was watching the fight. I was watching, and I thought, okay, he's got the back. Your jiu-jitsu was absolutely
Yeah,
fluent. The way you went past his guard, took the back, got the hooks in, cranked the neck, and quicker than usually tapped out, and you got off. You were running. It was the first card that had no fans in, so it was a bit
yeah,
weird watching, the echoing of the shots around the arena. You could hear your coaches screaming and cheer. You could hear, the referee saying, okay, okay, that's it. And when I saw you get up, I thought, okay, well done. He made a statement, because I've been watching you for a long, long time and I was very excited for the fight. And then I was wondering, why is he screaming? Shouldn't he be happy? And then
yeah.
when as soon as you spoke about, why you were angry, you spoke to Bisping about not having your fans around you, you know oh.
My cell phone just dropped.
Not a problem, not a problem, take your time.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So yeah, so I was thinking that, when you when you said what you said about, your son being born and not having your people around you, out of anger, I gained a little more respect for you there. I felt that what you did, the way you did it, on the contrary, was perfect, right? You did it your reaction was completely different to most of the other fighters. And
Yeah,
when you said you made it, when you were talking about sending a message, you made a huge message there. You sent a message to your people that you love them and you miss them. You sent a message to your family, your wife,
yeah,
your son. you know if when it's when I thought what you did was noble. I thought what you did was amazing. And it's completely understandable that your emotions got the best of you. It happens to a lot of
yeah,
people. It happens to some of the best fighters
yeah,
there are. So
yeah.
I completely understand what happened. And in fact, I think it's not just me, but many other people in the fighting industry may have got more respect for you that day.
Nice. Thank you so much, bro. Let me ask you something. Can I ask you something?
Yeah, yeah, shoot, brother.
Which seat you are in India?
I am in the state of West Bengal, in a city called Kolkata.
Kolkata. Ah,
Yeah.
very nice, brother. It's amazing talk with you. Because f- think about it, like two 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 persons talking about MMA, one in America and one in India. Technology is amazing. It's really
It
amazing.
really is, brother.
And
If
let me
you
ask you, because I
Yeah.
never talk with an Indian.
You
Is
never.
Indian?
Yeah, I am an Indian. I am born and raised in India, brother.
Yeah, I never talk with one Indian guy.
Ah, well,
It's crazy.
yeah, amazing. I hope it didn't disappoint, brother.
Yeah, thank you so. Are you a religious?
I am not very religious, but
Yeah,
my people in my family are religious. Yes.
yeah, they are Hindus, right?
Yeah, they are Hindus. They are Hindus. Yeah.
Ah, this is very nice, brother. Because I ask you because I love religions. I'm so
Okay.
I'm so I'm amazed about religions. I really love religions. This is nice. It's nice to
Yeah.
talk to you.
You should talk to people in my family. You want to know anything about religion and any of that, you talk to them. Anytime you want to
Nice,
drop on over to India, you come hop over. I'll take you around. No, not a problem.
nice, brother. Nice,
Yeah, yeah.
really nice. Yeah,
Amazing. So, I want to go and talk to you about, how the recent fight that took place, Holloway versus Calvin Cater. Calvin
yeah.
Cater, of course, he's a guy you beat unanimously on the Khabib Iaquinta card, UFC 223. It was an amazing performance indeed. So walk me through that entire now that you're looking at his performance against Max Holloway. And how do you think, where do you think that places you now that you have that win over Calvin? And where do you think you should go from here? Do you want another fight with Calvin Cater, or what do you want to do?
No, no, I don't think I don't think this fight is related to me, because right now I am in the lightweight. They are featherweights, and Max Holloway just showed how good he is. He's a really good fighter, and I have been saying this a long time. I
Hmm.
think I think I think he won the last two fights, against
Alex.
Volkanovski, and I
Yeah.
think he is an amazing fighter, and he just showed, because Qatar is a really tough guy. He showed this too because I think not a lot of fighters can take that kind of beat. Max Holloway beat him for 5 rounds, and he didn't quit. He was always trying to beat Max. I think Calvin is an amazing fighter, but I don't think like this fight particularly can help me, because
Yeah.
right now I have to worry about my new division, and I have to worry about who I should fight next, and I have to like I say, to put a better performance than my last one. So
Yeah.
I have been working on fix my the problems I have, especially in my boxing and my guard, and I will do that,
Yeah.
and I will do that, and I'm gonna be like ready for to be in top of the lightweight.
Yeah, and best of luck to you for it. because speaking of like development of your game, from your last few fights, from all of your performances, you could tell your jiu-jitsu, your wrestling is very advanced, right? You're very quick, you're swift to the takedowns. I was speaking to a training partner of yours recently, Mike Davis.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So I was talking to him and I asked him, when it comes to training, who pushes you the most. He named a few people and he named you. When it comes to wrestling and jiu-jitsu, someone who challenges him the most was you, Renato Moicano. He was talking about how when he got there, he was absolutely dominated by you on the ground. And then he spoke about how, you helped him develop his game and, understand a few more things about the art. So, you know, when you're developing your game right now, how do you try scheduling your training at this point? Because we know that your jiu-jitsu is developed. Do you still actively train jiu-jitsu, or are you full steam ahead on your strength conditioning, your boxing? What does your whole training routine look like?
I have been, like I said before, I have been trying to adjust my game, because I have been training jiu-jitsu for a long time and boxing and kickboxing, but I want add like more stuff, and I want to be a different fighter than I was in last fight, because last fight I was trying to do a kickboxing match against
Mhm.
a really good kickboxer, so that was not smart. And my plan is to go there, hit, don't get hit, take down, use my ground game, and this is gonna be my next approach for this training camp. I have to be smart, because sometimes I like to to beat my opponent in his area. Some I have some losses which I try to beat my 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 opponent in his area, but right now I have been working more on strategy. Since the last fight, I have been working in adjust my game to try to put a good performance, not try to just to give to the public here a good fight, because I have been like all my career I always thought about the public. I always thought
Mhm.
about I have to do a good fight, I have to do amazing fight, have people has to like me because of my performance. But right now I think more like strategic. I think more in like in strategic aspect of the game. So I'm really trying to fix the holes in my game, and let's see what happens.
Let's see, indeed, brother. A smart approach indeed. As you were saying, hit and not get hit. You just remind me of like the Brazilian Rocky Balboa. The Brazilian stallion. Have you watched Rocky?
Yeah, yeah, a
Yeah.
couple
So
times.
yeah.
Yeah.
So instead of Macho Renato, you may think of the Brazilian stallion. Yeah. So I hope you take one of these nicknames sometime in there. Yeah. So when you're looking when you're looking forward now, you had that performance against Rafael. You're thinking of taking this new approach to your fights. Trying to stick to your strengths and plan out your game plan a bit smarter now. What fight are you looking for next? Is there any particular person you have in mind? Is there any fight in the works, or what's that whole situation like?
No, I don't have a fight yet. I'm gonna wait for the UFC to come at me and offer a fight. And I'm not in a good position. I'm not really in a good position to ask for a fight, because I came for a loss. And every time I came from a loss, I don't have the power to choose. I have to 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 see what they offer to me, and I want to fight soon, soon as the UFC want. But in this meantime, in this meanwhile, in this time, I'm gonna use to advance in my game, and try to be smarter than I was. So it's pretty much right now. I'm pretty much trying to fix this kind of problems in my game, in my camp, and let's see what the UFC bring to us.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So, of course, it all depends on what the UFC offers you. But ideally, forgetting about the names, when like is an ideal time you want to get back into the octagon?
I think maybe March or April.
March or April. Yeah, yeah. So, of course, the whole coronavirus pandemic, it's a very overused topic, but it's something we have to talk about. So,
Of course.
yeah. So, how has the whole COVID situation impacted your training camp, your life, and how you adjusting through it and everything of the sort? What's going on there?
Yeah, back. I think in the first when the pandemics hit, like all over the world, it was a little frustrating because I was asking for a fight and I couldn't go to the gym to training. Was a little bit frustrating for me. It was a really tough time, but right now it seems they are more like there are people got a new way to handle things, so it's easier now, I can training, I can do my stuff. So right now it's pretty much the same. I come home, I went to the gym, and right now I think it's almost done. And they have the vaccines, I think in a couple months or maybe in a half in a year, in the middle of the year, they're gonna be, I think we're gonna be like back to normal.
Amazing, amazing. So, something I want to go back to. You spoke about, your at in the card after winning with the rear naked choke against Demir. Um, you spoke about you had your child and everything of the sort. So, did that has fatherhood, changed your outlook on how you want to training smarter? Did it put any did it scare you a little bit that you want to keep yourself safe or secure? How has that whole situation impacted your way of going about your daily life?
Yeah, it was a huge impact on my life, because soon as I see him like s- get into life, I just realized now I have another human being to take care about like 20 years or more or even more, for the rest of my life. I'm gonna have to take care of this kid. So it was a really big thing to me, because I have to change a lot of my like bad habits, things I don't like in me, and I want to be better to not like pass on him, so it was, so I have to thinking a lot about what should I do, what should I like stop doing, and what what way should I take. So I'm still thinking about that, but to me was the best thing in my life was to have my son.
Yeah, amazing, and all power to you for it. Developing as a person, and I really hope it helps you out. Even with your fighting career, it helps getting rid of those bad habits. Helps you as a father. So all power to you, all respect to you for it.
Thank you so
Uh,
much, brother.
Not a problem. So I'll ask you the same question I asked Mike when he came on the show. Of course, you train with multiple different partners in your weight division, or maybe up and down a little bit. Who gives you the biggest challenge when it comes to training? Is there anyone in particular who pushes you to the limit at the gym?
There is a lot of like there is like uh, Dustin, he's a really good training partner. Thiago Moises, he's a really good training
Hmm.
partner. Mateus Ganrot, the Polish guy,
Polish power, yeah.
he's really tough training, and a lot of like I have a lot of good training partners. Mikey, even Mikey, Brock.
Mm.
I have a lot of good training partners, and they will be helping me to reach my potential.
Yeah, I spoke to Brock as well. These the people at American Top Team, including you, it's very interesting how you guys have, set up over there. A lot of different talents there. So walk me through when you first, entered American Top Team. Thinking about training regularly there. Was it tough getting acclimatized with all this different talent that was there, that you weren't the only one who was this good? Was it tough, like, being on the same speed with them, the same tempo, if you will? What was it like getting used to this whole new training group?
Not really. It was not hard because in American Top Team we have so many Brazilians. So soon as I arrived there, I I I acclimatized really well because there
Mm,
is a lot of Brazilians,
yeah.
so, and I see how they training, and I thought like, oh, this is a really good gym. I have to move to here. So I have been in the American Top Team about 3 years now, 2 years and a half, almost 3 years. So it's a really good place to me,
So
and it was
who
easy.
Right. It's great. Happy to see that you were able to acclimatize that well, and it's helping you out. Who at first introduced you to American Top Team? Who pushed you to get there? Who invited you to the whole system? What was that all about?
Uh, my manager Alex Davis, he is a manager of a lot of American Top Teams fighters,
Mm,
and I had a friend Adriano Moraes. He is the one FC champion, the
okay.
flyweight champion, and he was training here, and he invited me, and I went here, and I love it. And right now I live in USA about, like I say, 2.5 years. So it was really great.
Right. So, you know, it's very. So, when you were setting up, early in the ranks, you needed management. You needed people to tell you, how to go about different things when you were now a pro, when you were out in the limelight. You spoke about your manager Alex Davis. So when you were trying to get the help of so many of these different people, how did that whole process work out, that I need his help, I need he's the right guy, I know I can trust him? What was it like getting the trust of these people, so on and so forth? How did you come to terms with these are the people who I should rely on, who's
Uh,
good for me, and so on?
it is a really it's a really uh, it's a really it's really challenging find people who you trust, and I think this is uh, a really, you have to be worried about who you working. You have been working because I like you say, how I trust this guy. So you have to talk him. You have to talk him a couple times and see what they gonna do for you, and if they are good people or not. So it's really hard. But Alex Davis is a good manager. He's even a better person than a manager. So this is what I like in him. And he worked with a lot of Brazilian people. So it was easier that way. But you should listen and take care about who get into your life. Uh, this is a really primordial stuff. You have to be surrounded by good people.
Yeah.
So that's the way I approach things. Doesn't matter if the guy is the best manager, but if he's not a if you good person, if you cannot trust him, I don't think this is good for your career. I just work with good people.
Yeah, wise man indeed. Wise man indeed. So, I noticed the posters behind you, the Moicano versus Korean Zombie
Yeah,
one, the
yeah,
Aldo fight,
yeah,
your son over there,
yeah.
those are some those are some lovely posters you got going on back there. Is it something that you love collecting and putting up all around your mantle, these different fights that you've been a part of?
Yeah, because in every loss I had, I learned something, you know. So these posters, of course, I like UFC stuff. I am a big fan of UFC, so I like to put UFC stuff on my house. But also I like to remember myself. What could I have done different in every fight? So every time I go train, I see that's these photos and I see what I have to do, you know. So it's a reminder of me of about losses and about growing in sport and about what I have accomplished and what can I do for be better, you know.
Yeah, you're eating, sleeping, and breathing UFC. You can see even by the
Yeah.
shirt you're wearing. You know,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, I love UFC. I really love,
yeah.
because first of all, I'm an athlete, you know, but first I am a fan. I'm a
Mm.
huge fan of UFC. I love to watch fights, and I love the way the company was built up and the platform they give us, you know, to live and to be martial artists. So I just simple love UFC.
You spoke about being a fan. I personally, I spoke to you as well about what got me into the sport. But who pulled you to the sport? Which fighter did you look at and say, hey, I want to be like that guy, I want to go to those limits? Who pulled you in?
Yeah, a lot. I think for all the Brazilians in my weight class, I think Jose Aldo was that guy first, you know. The Jose Aldo, Renan Barão, Anderson Silva, Vitor Belfort, all these Brazilians, they were great inspiration for us. But the guy who really got me into fight was my former training partner, Paulo Thiago. He used to be a UFC fighter, and I used to train with him in Brazil, even when
Mm.
I was when I was not a fighter. You know, I was just I just trained with them, and I thought, man, if this guy can do, I can do. You know, I want to be like him, and
Are
he
you still
was
in,
my first like idol. Yeah,
are you still in touch with him?
yeah. Right now he lives in California, but uh, sometimes I send a message to him. When he came to Florida, I talked to him. So we are not
Okay.
really close, but we are friends.
Yeah, that's great. So walk me through what it was like, going to the Aldo fight. Of course, it wasn't your best result, but he was a guy that you looked up to. So, from watching his fights on the telly as a fan to being on the telly fighting him in the octagon, what was that whole? Was it weird going up against your idol, or what was the whole process like?
It was really crazy, you know, when I looked to the other side and I saw Jose Aldo, the guy who was the guy who I grew up watching on the television, and I was like so excited, and I really feel good about it, you know. Of course, the fight didn't went in my way, but I'm really glad I could like fight with one of the best in all times. You know, he is one of the best, you know. So it was really good for me. It's a really it was a great experience, and I don't have nothing to complain about.
Absolutely. I'm gonna let the fan of me. I'm a fan of jiu-jitsu, and that's one of the main reasons why I wanted to have you on. I'm a fan of jiu-jitsu. So you're a black belt, of course, and you have a lot of experience here and there. You have your training partners vouching for how good you are. So I wanted to ask you, when you're working on your jiu-jitsu game, what is your go-to? What are your your go-to moves? Do you like the rear naked choke because you've done it so many times, or what do you like setting up the most when you're practicing or training and so on?
I think jiu-jitsu is all about getting better, you know. So every training session and every position, I want to do the position effortless, you know. So I want to be the best using the less uh, energy and strength possible. So I want to be I want to have the most efficient movement that I can do. You know, I want to
Yeah.
do the best movement I can do. So I think this is jiu-jitsu is all about, you know, to be technical and to be precise and not to use too much strength, you know. I think it is about that.
Yeah, you gotta teach me some of your moves at some point. You know, I got a brother who's also a fan. He does a little bit of jiu-jitsu as well. I just can't get around going getting past him. So you gotta teach me something here and there.
Yeah.
So you know, I'll start wrapping up now. So I don't want to take too much of your time.
Okay.
So you know, when you're training at American club team, or and you made your change to the lightweight division after you moved to American top team. Was it was lightweight your natural weight? Is it something that you always wanted to go for, or was it something that your team thought you should go after? What was that whole decision making process that you want to move up weight class?
Yeah, I never thought about going to the lightweight, but I start to getting older, and my weight start to go up, and I had a lot of hard time to make the weight in 145. So I have I me and my team, we worked this out. We talked a lot, and we thought this is the best move we can do is go to the lightweight.
Yeah.
And right now I have one win, one loss as a lightweight at a lightweight. So uh, we're gonna I have to work some stuff out in strength and conditioning, and I want to be a little heavier. But let's see what is next for me.
Yeah, let's see indeed. And I'm gonna be following, and I'm sure those who are watching will be too. And me and I speak for those watching. Wish you all the best of luck, and I really hope it does work out. And before we wrap up, final message for all the Renato Moicano fans out there. Final message for in what I believe can be our new nickname once again. I'll end it with that: the macho Renato Moicano fans out there, or the Brazilian stallion. You never know. All you, brother. Next few minutes, whatever you want to say.
Thank you so much to everybody who watch me, who supported me, and I gonna be much better in the next fight. You can trust me. Thank you so much. Follow my social media, Renato Moicano, and
Yeah.
thanks so much for the interview.
My pleasure, brother. It was a pleasure talking to you. I'm a fan. Speaking to you, it just made me increase my my respect for you. I became an even bigger fan, and I hope to talking to you sometime in the near future. Leading up to one of your fights or after you win another big fight.
Okay.
I best of luck to you. I wish you the best. I wish your son the best.
Thanks
I
so much.
I hope your Instagram Renato Moicano UFC says it itself. A future UFC champ, and I look forward to
Yeah.
seeing you there. Macho Renato Moicano, it was a pleasure having you on, brother.
Thank you
And
so much,
thank you
brother.
everyone for joining in. It was a pleasure, and we'll see you on the
Those
next one. That's what that was.